like as easy as it has to be.
Did anyone watch that show Wander Over Yonder?
No, it looked really terrible.
It did? I thought it looked nice.
Well, it looked really fun and cool and like cute, but then when I like started actually to like watch the episode for like 5 minutes or whatever, it was like it was just a lot of him screaming and yelling, and it was like,
hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Midnight Masterminds, Screenplays, movie reviews, movie news, and general movie nonsense podcast. My name is Tyler Stoudt, and joining me for this episode are the seemingly annoyed
Kitt. Do I have to give my last name?
No.
Is that you gave your last name?
Give your name and your home address.
Okay. Well, my social.
Kitt and
Taylor.
And Woodstock.
And Woodstock. We went to Knott's Berry Farm today, and it was very nice.
He canonically doesn't talk, so it works with the podcast.
Doesn't he make like noises?
We'll just loop that in whenever.
Yeah, every time Woodstock talks, I'm gonna loop that in. We got a bit of an interestingly formatted episode for you this week. Basically, we don't really care about most of the movie news. I know the Emmys are happening right now, but I don't care.
There's like 4 TV shows I watch, and none of them are nominated for anything ever.
Yeah, and Game of Thrones doesn't deserve... Like, Peter Dinklage, I think, won for acting, and he deserved that, but if it wins anything else, it didn't deserve it. And Michelle Williams' speech was really good and all that stuff, but we're not going to cover it. But what we are going to cover is... we have a small little review for Goldfinch.
Yeah.
Because Taylor saw it, and because of what he's going to say about it, Kitt and I never went to see it. More on that later. And then we're going to all review the hell out of Ad Astra, because that one, ooh mama. And then we're going to talk about, if we have time, we're going to talk about our favorite sci-fi movies for a little while. Just because I think that's going to be fun. But anyway, just to get things going. Taylor, what'd you think about Goldfinch?
Goldfinch is the worst thing a movie can be, where it's not even fun to watch because of how bad it is. It falls right in the middle of an uncanny valley of being absolutely boring to the point where it's not even enjoyable to watch. Mm-hmm. It's wherever The Room meets The Godfather.
What? Oh my god.
Oof. Do you want to give us like a little bit of a breakdown as to like...
So it's based off of a book. I have not read the book. I've heard the book is very good. Books tend to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might sound crazy, but the movie wasn't as good as the book. So if you've seen the book, one page at a time,
and then took the information and the words that were on the pages of that book when you saw it, and like processed it in your brain,
you might have enjoyed the movie. I know that I've seen movies where I read the book and the movie was not as good and people didn't like the movie, but I still like the movie.
I feel that way about the Harry Potter films. Fans of the books roast the movies hard, and I don't get it.
There's also a cool niche where it becomes like you can celebrate both things for being independently what they are. Like,
which in a case of the Harry Potter films is what happened.
Yeah,
it's like she wrote the books on her own, but then she had a writing partner for the screenplays to retell it as a story as if she were writing it for movies.
Because books aren't movies.
Exactly, and she didn't want to just take the books
right
and just do them on the screen, because that wouldn't have worked.
Plus,
people wanted that and expected that, and that's why a lot of people were like, why wasn't this character, who in the grand scheme of things is completely pointless and not important to the overall story in the book? I liked him and he should be in it. That's like a summary of every Harry Potter fan's criticism of the movies. It drives me nuts.
You go to them taking The Hobbit and making it into 3 movies so they could fit everything in.
Then you have the opposite of that.
It's the exact opposite backlash.
Yeah.
There's no winning.
Yeah.
I wonder if there is like a film adaptation of a book that the people who like the book actually loved.
No, there can't be, right? One. I don't think there can be, because nothing's as good as your imagination.
Right.
Yeah. Well, but I will say I've read all of the Harry Potter books except for Order of the Phoenix, because that's my least favorite movie, and what I got through of the book, it's my least favorite of all of the books.
It's super slow in the beginning.
So I just never finished it because I just don't really care
From
to.
what I
I'll probably
remember.
get around to it so I can say I read all of them, but at this point in my life, don't really care. But the third book is my favorite in the series, and the third movie is not only my favorite of the Harry Potter movies, I throw that in my top 10 movies of all time, maybe even my top 5. And that's one where a lot of people criticize it because there's a lot of weird subplots or the way they handled it in the book.
It takes weird turns.
They do it differently in the movie, and I'm just like, guys.
So this is a movie.
This is a film. How long did it take you to read the book? Couple weeks probably, right? Or at the very least a week and of like 4-hour reading sessions.
Try fitting in the entire feeling of that book.
Exactly. It's
Into,
literally impossible.
Yeah, into 2 hours
So, whatever.
maybe.
Anyway, I didn't mean to step on your Goldfinch review. Go ahead.
It's like they go into the movie and they're like, you better make me feel something, you piece of crap, or else...
Well...
I paid money to come in here and feel feelings. And they better be the same feeling.
Better be the exact same experience, or I want my money back.
We're getting into a pretty existential idea of what movies are, because I did kind of just break down why people pay for films. But,
Yeah.
But anyway.
Did you guys see the Shia LaBeouf Hot Ones?
No. Why?
There's a moment where Sean Evans goes, "Do you think memes are art?" And Shia goes, "Absolutely. If it moves you, it's art." And I'm like, wow.
Damn.
That's actually like, yeah. Memes can be art. Thanks, Shia.
Cars,
Yeah.
they move you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, get fucked.
Conveyor belts.
That's fair.
Conveyor belts. A strong gust of wind.
The entire Earth.
Yes.
You want to talk about Goldfinch?
Oh. Go for it, Taylor.
Goldfinch was so boring, I'm trying to come up with reasons to not talk about it.
Sorry, Wyatt.
There is... Did he like it?
One of the last episodes of the podcast we did with that crew, the me, Wyatt, and Katie May crew, was about my seeing Ad Astra and Wyatt and May seeing Goldfinch and how much they loved Goldfinch. So that's sad. To be fair, I think what he said was when they saw it, it was like a 3-hour plus cut of the movie.
That sounds terrible.
Well, he said that it would. He imagined that if they cut even anything out of it, really, you won't get the full experience. And the way he sold it was like it was an experience. Like it was long and a lot, but it needed every minute to be worth it. Otherwise, it's just kind of confusing and boring and pointless.
And that's how I felt.
And they cut out a bunch of stuff, and it seems like that's exactly what happened.
That's how I feel about the movie. There's a lot of, like, the Goldfinch is... Alright, I'm going to get into a little bit of spoiler territory.
Dude, no one cares. No one's watching this fucking movie.
Yeah,
Do you want to just drop the box office information?
Box office, it had a production budget of $45 million, is currently sitting pretty at a domestic gross of 4.5 milli.
So that's
so it's not great.
That's point 1, right? That's
It's about 10%.
10%, yeah.
So it'll be lucky to get even a third of its budget back at this point.
Yeah.
The best part of the film is Finn Wolfhard's character. Actually, Finn Wolfhard himself.
The character.
Because the character, there's two parts. There's a part where they're young, and then and living in Las Vegas, and then there's a part where they're older.
Does it cut between the two, or is
Yes.
it... Okay.
And Finn Wolfhard portraying this character is fantastic. The older version of himself is serviceable at best. My main problem with the film, the reason Finn Wolfhard's the only person that is enjoyable to watch in this movie, is that nobody feels like a real person. Everybody talks like they're portraying a character in a movie.
That's
Finn Wolfhard was the only person in the movie where I was like feeling like this was a person in the world. And we're back, folks.
I said,
oh my
Taylor,
God.
I said just go. They would have had no idea, but now I'm
You
leaving
ruined
this
it.
in, and everyone's going to know that you sabotaged everything. Anyway.
Ain't I just a little stinker?
Ain't I a stinker?
Oh my God.
What was I saying?
God damn it.
Taylor! One job!
Finn Wolfhard was good.
Finn Wolfhard was good because he felt like a real person.
Yep.
He has a heavy accent.
He's
What
Russian, right?
Ukrainian.
Oh, okay.
Dare you?
Sorry.
He's Ukrainian.
Is it
His
good?
accent goes in and out, but it's enough for. It's not.
He's 15.
He's 15 years old. He isn't. He is a professional actor though.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if he was like 6, maybe I'd give him.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, he's old enough that he should be at least able to do a passable.
Right, and it's passable.
Especially something that's like easy to meme as Ukrainian or Russian.
It's hard to really gauge because I've seen him in too much other stuff that I know what he actually sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So I don't know if somebody had never heard of Finn Wolfhard, maybe it's flawless, but it felt like it went in and out a little bit to me, but it's good enough that it doesn't bother me.
Sure.
Besides that, he feels like a real person in the movie. The kid version of Baby Driver.
Ansel Elgort's character.
He's Baby Driver.
Yeah, plays the star. He's the star of the movie.
I'm either going to call him Baby Driver or Fault in the Stars.
Oh my god.
Cigarette boy.
Cigarette man who doesn't really smoke because that's unhealthy. Can you imagine another version of that movie where he has a crack pipe, but he just holds it?
Or a gun. You put the thing that does the killing between your lips, but you don't pull the trigger.
There's no bullet in the gun. I'm not a maniac.
Oh my god.
I just use it to scare people at the convenience store so I could get free Chips Ahoy.
Gotta get them Chips Ahoy, bro.
You ever have those moist ones? The ones in the red package?
Chewy ones. They're the best.
They're really good. Unironically.
Why are you both cackling about this?
They're good enough to die and kill for.
Or make a poor convenience store worker think you're gonna kill yourself for.
I don't know what the big deal is. He wasn't in any danger. He just thought he was.
I think this is a good review of Goldfinch. It's getting the point across because it's so hard for us to stay on topic about it.
Right.
Yeah, right.
The kid versions of the characters. There's this one scene where they're like talking. They're talking about like some artist. And I'm watching this and I'm going like, 12-year-olds don't talk like this. The person who wrote this has never met a 12-year-old in their entire life. These two 12-year-olds are talking like 35-year-old divorced like women. Like
What?
Art critics.
Right. They're like, we're going to go check out the show tonight. You know, it's quite fantastic. Like, I'm like, there's no kid that talks like this.
Yeah.
The stepdad who's like, it's implied he's like an alcoholic. Well, he is an alcoholic. And he's like a bad father who only gets in touch with his son because his mom died and he's trying to get the money that she set aside for his school.
What a scumbag.
And the whole movie, it felt like he had just gotten the sides for that scene like 10 minutes before they shot it.
I mean, maybe he did.
It felt like he didn't know what to do with the character. There's one scene that he was good in, and that's when he finds out that there's no way that he's going to get the money because it's set up that it has to be released directly to a school.
Got it.
And he flips out, and he starts like throwing stuff. That was the only scene where I was like, he's mad. The rest of the movie, I'm like, you're an actor reading lines right now.
Ugh.
It was boring. Goldfinch, if you really love Finn Wolfhard, get it on DVD, skip through until you see his face at some point.
Or like watch his parts on YouTube.
Yeah, like honestly, and like if they like literally if they just cut out that scene of Finn Wolfhard, like everything from when he goes to Vegas to with Finn Wolfhard, that was a fun movie. It was 5 out of 10. Everything else is like a 2 out of 10. I'm gonna average it out to roughly a 3 out of 10. It's a boring movie. I don't feel like I was robbed, but I not only have no intention to watch it again, I wouldn't recommend anybody to watch it. Because it's just that's... If you haven't seen The Godfather, like, watch... Like, there's no world where I'm like, oh, well, at least you saw Goldfinch.
Mm.
Like, there's so many better things, so many better movies you could watch. If you love the book, cool, man. Watch the movie if you really love the book. But if you've never heard of the book like I have, and you're just going into this movie blind, it's a slog. It's straight up just a slog. It's not fun to watch. multiple scenes where all I'm thinking is, can we go? Can we be done? It's not even like an issue of like it's too long.
Yeah.
The subject matter is boring.
Sure.
You can shorten it down 30 minutes, and it's just going to be 30 minutes shorter of a still boring movie to watch.
I hear you.
I don't know if there's fixing the film except for just starting again.
Yeah. That's sad, because it's like Wyatt and May were very excited about it, or at least Wyatt was. I think, just liked it.
I do feel like it's a movie that certain types of people would like. Mm-hmm. People who are it's clear Oscar bait, by the way. Yeah. It's 100% Oscar bait. And it feels like it through the whole movie. Mm-hmm. If you love Oscar bait movies, cool, man. Have fun. Go watch it. Mm-hmm. But for the general populace, and for me, I didn't enjoy it. Yeah. And I wish I didn't see it. Mm-hmm. I wish I had seen... I would have rather seen Dora and the Lost City of Gold, because at least it looked like people were having fun in that movie. Or
even like Rambo, because you can laugh at how obnoxiously
and you know what? Like,
testosterone-y it is.
It's fun to watch a guy doing stuff, which no one in Goldfish... I keep trying to say Goldfinger.
Oh, I kept saying Goldfish.
You did.
We might watch Rambo and just do a little in passing, if we have time, review.
There's not much else out
on the next episode. Well,
I was looking at movies today, and I was like, I think the only thing I haven't seen is this Rambo movie.
I think by the next time we release an episode, Joker's out.
Ooh, really?
I think.
That's cool.
Let me look.
That's what to look forward to.
Any last thoughts on what's it called?
Goldfinch.
Goldfinger. Goldmember. Austin Powers. Watch Goldmember Austin Powers if you're looking for a movie with the word gold in it. That's my review.
Thanks, man. Okay. Kitt's falling asleep, and
I'm not falling asleep.
It's really funny. I keep looking at her, and her eyes are closed, and her mouth is open, and it's real funny.
You guys ever almost fall asleep behind the wheel of a car?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that is the scariest fucking thing.
Yeah, man. That's it. All right, you want to get on to our reviews for Ad Astra?
Yeah. So right. Ad Astra...
Well, before we get into it real quick, just wanted to say that I thought it was interesting because I was trying to find the production budget because they didn't have it on Box Office Mojo. Mm-hmm. That when it was initially released, it screened very poorly at initial screenings, of which I believe May and I were a part, which was fun. Because it got chewed up real bad.
Did you like it?
I liked what it could, like, I saw, like...
It was a test screening.
Because the best thing, like, we'll get into it, but, like, I think one of the two best things about the movie is definitely Brad Pitt's performance.
Oh, yeah. So
and they didn't reshoot anything that involved him. They just included other things to, like, pad it out and fill out some of the scenes in the world and all that kind of stuff. But like his performance, they didn't bring Brad Pitt in for the reshoots.
Okay.
But you could give your opening thoughts. I just wanted to.
Ad Astra is Latin for "to the stars."
Cool.
Nice.
It was a really good film.
Yeah. So it released full. It had its full release on the 20th. So this past. Friday, production budget of $80 million before its reshoots and $100 million after its reshoots.
Oh, so
not $100 million to reshoot. No,
okay.
$20 million more to cover its reshoots.
Say no.
Which I would imagine a lot of which were special effects based. Weta Workshop worked on this movie.
Visual effects. My mistake.
Right now, it's at a worldwide gross of $45.2 million, which is...
It's on its way.
That's pretty solid. I think it'll make its money back at the very least. It might not make like a butt ton, but it'll make its money back, and then when Oscar season rolls around, it'll come back, at least for Brad Pitt.
And they'll probably kill it with toys like those sad Tommy Lee Jones action figures.
Yes,
oh my
definitely.
The dead people floating to the space station.
Spoiler alert!
Well, it's a movie podcast. Sorry. Spoilers.
And we always prelim the spoiler parts.
I already said spoilers when I did my gold.
For Goldfinch, spoilers. Right. Try to keep spoilers out of the first couple minutes.
Sorry, bros.
It's okay.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the bros.
Dumbledore dies.
Yeah.
Bro.
Snape kills him.
You're Did you hear Ad Astra that came out?
Yeah. It was directed by James Gray, starring Brad Pitt, and that's really it. Tommy Lee Jones, Ruth Negga, Donald Sutherland, and what's her name? Liv Tyler are all also in it. None of them are very consequential to the plot besides Tommy Lee Jones and Ruth Negga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
and Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Well, I said besides, yeah. I absolutely love this movie.
I also loved it.
I like, so we'll get into it later, but my favorite sci-fi film of all time is Interstellar.
Oh,
So when I see sci-fi movies like it, that this is like it, I kind of just can't. I don't know, that movie hasn't been out for very long, but I compare them against it.
Interstellar, yeah. I think it came out in 2014.
14, yeah. It's been a minute, but it's still not like a long time. But even still, like I compare most the sci-fi movies that I watch against it. In this film, it's a crazy nuanced and
it feels like an event.
Yeah, and a beautiful performance by Brad Pitt. Like, he plays, like, there are moments in the movie where he's like the typical action hero who's good at everything, but then there's moments where he just is like, he's just kind of unhinged,
right?
And you don't know where he's gonna go, and then moments where he just looks like he's in the most pain anybody's ever been in their whole life. It's just all the different places that he's able to go, and it's just, yeah, and the visual effects were,
they were fantastic. That was probably the most fun thing about the film.
Yeah, it was so incredibly immersive. I just felt everything that Brad Pitt was feeling. I felt like I was there. I thought it was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the director, James Gray.
What else has he done?
I'll pull it up real quick. But one thing that he did that he wanted to do with this movie was he wanted to present the most, like, realistic, like, depiction of what interstellar space, well, not interstellar, but what space travel would be like within our solar system when we get to this point.
So, like
how
not a Star Wars.
Yeah, like even Interstellar, it's like, theoretically, I guess you could go through a wormhole and pop up in another galaxy.
It is further ahead in the future, also. This one's a little more...
This one's like the late this century, I believe.
Right.
Or early next.
Yes, that's correct.
But yeah, it's like they wanted to depict as like in a realistic and like believable way. But he has done The Lost City of Z. Wow, not much. Wow. He directed a movie in 1991 called Cowboys and Angels. It was a short. Then he did Little Odessa in 1994. Didn't direct another movie until 2000. And then another one in 2007. Like, it is a big gap. But the last, like, movie he did of any note was The Lost City of Z.
Is The Immigrant the Jackie Chan movie? Or am I thinking of something else?
It's a different one. The Foreigner.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. That movie was fun.
I never got around to it.
That was the first movie I ever saw with my Movie Pass.
Cool.
Movie Pass, or AMC?
Movie Pass.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Ad Astra. Yeah, I love it. Down to, like, you were mentioning this that I didn't even really realize it, but like, your brother Dan is a big... Hi, Dan. Shout out.
Hi, Dan. Huge nerd. Loves sci-fi.
Huge nerd, big sci-fi fan. He brought up some of the minor details that he, like, really appreciated.
Yeah, so, like... Well, first of all, he made me stay for the credits, which is fine. I love staying for the credits. I like to give people their view, I think that's cool. But he stayed for the credits because he wanted to see if a scientist was consulted. So, no scientist was consulted for the film. However, they did use footage and photos and data from NASA in the film, which I thought was really cool. So, like, some of the shots of the planets and stuff are, like, actual, like, that's in space. We're looking at it. Which I thought, that's really, really neat.
Yeah.
I bet they consulted some scientists.
And just didn't give them
they
credit.
Just might not have. Maybe they didn't want to be credited, or it wasn't, like, worth crediting or something like that.
Yeah.
They didn't just go to nasa.gov and
start
looking around.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway.
But another thing that he did say was... He liked the film. He had a really great time with it, but he thought it was weird that it was giving lots of nods to science nerds and then not backing it up with actual science, which I was like, I get it, but also, like, it's a movie, and he was like, no, I get it, but, like, still, you know?
Nah,
So,
I think that's valid.
So, like, in the hallway, like, next to the picture of Tommy Lee Jones or whatever, it was like they had like Buzz Aldrin and like the latest upcoming astronaut or whoever who was on the space station for like a year, I think.
See that guy that made that YouTube video?
I don't know.
Of him jumping.
Of him doing the cover of and the spiders from Mars.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn it.
I don't know, bro.
Sorry.
But
I feel so foolish.
They can't all be hits, Taylor.
but so they were doing stuff like that, and then like the interior of the commercial flight that he takes to the moon is the design that Elon Musk has for his commercial flights to the moon. Stuff like that.
I love the. Can I have the pillow and blanket pack, please? Absolutely, that'll be $125.
Yeah,
He just does it.
Everyone in our theater laughed.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, well, what's inflation like at this
Yeah,
point?
that's what I was thinking.
right.
That might be like $20
Inflation,
now.
also take into account that it's a pillow and a blanket on a rocket to the moon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, right.
It's like a multi-million-dollar trip to the moon.
That should be included.
It should definitely be.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That's chump change.
But so there was just some funny moments that he was talking about where he was like the one that comes to mind immediately is when he climbs on top of the spinning apparatus, the stabilizer or the solar panel or whatever the hell that was, and swings himself with a panel that he has taken from the ship to get to his ship through an asteroid belt and makes it
also doesn't miss the ship.
Doesn't miss the ship.
Yeah.
So Dan was telling me, he was like, that was like a cool movie moment and all, but here's the deal. He goes, not only do you have to be so accurate with your stuff when you're doing like incredible space things like that, like you can't be a degree off, because if you're a degree off, that's like 5 kilometers. Like there's no room for error.
It'd
so
be
now
like trying to hit a fly with a bullet from like a football field.
Mile
away.
it would be just bananas. So he was like, not only is there that, but if you brought that thing with you, the like big panel or whatever, you wouldn't like sail correctly. And when you started hitting asteroids and shit, it would knock you off course and like slow you down.
Yeah.
You would not be able to like he was just like, so I don't know, there's just shit like that that like took me out of the movie.
No, sure.
Which I was like, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
That's completely fair. Like,
if they had shown his ship closer. Because then the problem, like, the thing that throws you off a little is they show how far away his ship is, and it's like...
It's far.
It's so
very
far.
It's so far. There was, there were a couple of little things like that was like,
another one.
I'm going to move past it, because the rest of this has been so great.
Oh, it was so good. It was so emotionally
I feel like a lot of
gripping.
people hate the ending of Interstellar, and again, we'll get into this later. But I feel the same way about the ending of Interstellar that I feel about this. It's like, yeah, I get it, but it's not a documentary. It's a movie.
It's true.
You're watching
it's science
it
fiction.
to be like, that's kind of like what that would be like.
Right.
Also,
right.
I love how this movie made me feel. And I empathized and cared so much about his character by the end of the movie because of everything he'd been through that I'm like, yeah, man, you fucking Spartan shield through that asteroid belt. I don't even give a shit.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
That's how I feel. But I will say, for a big fandom of like these hard science fiction movies, I wouldn't even really call this one a hard science fiction, but even still. It's for people like your brother, I completely understand
that he was a little
being like, come on, that's a little schlocky. I totally get it.
He started laughing when Brad Pitt was contacting the space station and was like, I'm gonna use the nuclear blast to get myself home, because he was like, are you fucking kidding me?
He is right in that Goldilocks zone.
That's another part. I'm like, I mean, maybe.
Right. It's very like.
There's a Freddie, I think, loves this line from It's Always Sunny, where Charlie says it's like, I burn the trash and it goes in the sky and becomes stars. But Mac is like, see, I know that's not right, but I do not know enough about stars to dispute it.
Yeah.
So it's like I see Brad Pitt use a nuclear blast to propel himself from Neptune to planet Earth. And I'm like, see, maybe that would work, but I don't know enough about
Space
space travel or nuclear
Right.
physics to be able to say one way or the other. So I'm just gonna shut up and be like, "Wow,
Cool,
pretty."
bro.
Also, in an even longer shot, he makes it to Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Which is even harder. That's like trying to
I
hit a
think there
fly
was-
on the moon from here.
I think
Yeah.
there was fuel left in the ship. So
After-
he used the propulsion from the blast to like get a jump start, and then
Which there is some scientific basis in that, because that's how they got back on one of the Apollo missions, I think.
they,
They-
they detonated a nuke.
No.
They slingshot it around
How
the
do you
moon.
think the craters got on the moon?
Yeah, no, I bet you like
Pirates, dude. It's
I'm-
those buggy pirates.
I'm suspending my. We'll get to them. We'll get to them. But I'm willing to suspend my disbelief that if they have rockets that are able to get to Neptune, that rocket should then also be able to get back from Neptune.
Well, let me ask you this: if you drive somewhere,
no,
would you have-
but
would you-
they were willing. They were about to send that crew before.
oh, I see what you mean.
Brad
It
Pitt.
should have
They
had-
would not have sent those guys to just like.
Well, wasn't it implied that it was a one-way trip for them?
No,
No.
not for them. For Tommy Lee
It
Jones.
was
No.
No.
It was a
was a
one-way
drop-off
trip
for them.
But for them, yeah, they were gonna go drop a nuke, come home.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah,
Dan also pointed out, he was like, I'm not quite sure what blowing up already an unstable explosion was gonna do. He was like,
yeah,
if that thing was sending off pulses that were affecting Earth and Mars from that far away because it was an uncontrolled, like, unstable explosion, what is blowing it the fuck up gonna
with a
do?
nuke.
Like, he was like,
Not even just like
wouldn't that just, like-
destroying the station.
Right.
yeah,
You added nuclear fission to the mix.
like, wouldn't that just...
Because there
Mega
was
pulse?
like a sign that said like black or antimatter chamber.
I
Yeah.
did see that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that, you don't mess with that.
All of that shit is like,
Yeah.
whoa.
That's the thing with a lot of the science fiction stuff. That tries to go pretty hard in the science degree. It's like
Right.
ditto for Interstellar. Like, how do you have that movie end in a way that's not just and then they all died in space?
I mean,
Literally,
that's,
no, seriously. 'cause
Because,
that's what would
yeah.
happen in real life.
that's how most space movies would end.
Yeah, if you went realistic, you would just have Matthew McConaughey floating around dead in space, and in this you would have Brad Pitt dead in a spaceship orbiting
Matthew
Neptune.
McConaughey.
Brad Pitt. Matthew McConaughey for Interstellar.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Brad Pitt.
Your name behind, yeah.
Yeah, Brad Pitt dead floating around on a spaceship that's orbiting Neptune. You know what I mean? Like, even if he managed to blow up the station and somehow stop the antimatter chamber from firing and blowing chunks off of Neptune, whatever the fuck was happening, he's still not gonna. He's just dead in space now.
Yeah.
You have to kind of. That's why the endings are always the
It did
most
kinda
like hippy
feel
dippy
like-
part. You know?
It did kind of feel like they wanted like a happy ending for
Yes.
this film.
Yeah.
Because I was 100% expecting Brad Pitt to be dead at the end.
Yeah. Me too.
The way
Yeah.
that they were setting it up.
Me too.
And then, like, when he's like, all right, time to get back home, I'm like, all right, let's get into this. How's he going to do it?
And then,
like,
he's
he's
there.
just home.
He just rides.
Like,
He
And then
just
he's
rides
there.
a nuke. Yeah, especially how hard. And I love this because like we all talked about how much we love the movie, but we're roasting it right now.
Right.
Yes.
It all falls apart in the end.
It's
But
like-
he there's like a really long montage of how much it fucked with him to
Right.
go to Neptune on his own. He not only did he go, but the return trip was longer.
Right.
He
Yeah.
went from Neptune to Earth.
And there was one line about, like, I really look forward to being home.
Yeah.
But
And,
like,
like,
on
that
the
was
way out,
it.
it was like I'm going actually insane because I'm so alone in this empty vacuumous.
I
just-
accidentally murdered.
I murdered 3 people.
Boy, that scene just needs that Benny Hill music
Yeah,
in the
seriously.
background.
That's just 3 people who have no business firing guns and trying to stab people.
Oh, yeah.
Firing guns and trying to stab people while Brad Pitt's like, guys, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
Firing
Like that,
a gun
especially
in a
that chick. Like,
spaceship.
she's an astronaut. Of course, what the fuck did you expect was gonna happen?
You're taking off. Better look straight down.
Yeah, like aim your head at the back of the ship as you're about to take off. Of course, your whole body's gonna smash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bit with the fucking baboon.
Okay, what did you
I
guys
like
think
that
of that?
scene.
I like that a lot. No,
I
I,
thought
did,
that
I
was
like that a lot, but
really
it fucked me
cool.
up when I saw it the first
Right.
time. It freaked me out.
'Cause
I was actually nervous when I saw it happening again.
Yeah. Because that scene, it's set up very well where they say, like, biological testing or
Yeah,
whatever.
like, they set it up. They foreshadow what happened.
You see a dead rat float by at first, and you're like,
Yep.
oh shit, animal testing.
Yep.
Okay.
I was thinking alien, but the animal thing was
So
a
was
lot
I.
more, like, yeah, that's something that
Could
probably
totally happen, yeah. That dude got fucked up.
Yeah, when he sees him, he's just shaking, and
Yeah.
it's like, all right,
His whole face is
what's
getting...
on the other side
Yeah,
of that guy?
I legit thought, like, there was, like, some parasite or some shit.
Right.
And then that was gonna be the, like, I didn't know what Ad Astra meant.
I was expecting Darth Vader to be force
Darth
choking.
Darth Vader. But turns out, surprise, all the characters in the Star Wars universe are only a foot tall. Because what do we have to prove that, based on our humans, they're the same size? We don't. They're in a different galaxy.
Darth Vader ate the rat.
Yo.
I betcha.
Yo. That's one of my favorite theories about Star Wars, though.
They eat rats.
What? Are you,
Yeah.
What?
But-
Hang on. What are you talking about?
So,
Dead
like,
rat that was floating.
Oh,
Fan theory.
I
Darth
got it.
Vader.
no, but that's one of my favorite Star Wars theories, is that their galaxy scaled to ours is, like, much bigger or much smaller.
And we
they're-
never know.
Because they have humans there, but we don't know if they're...
They're not humans.
Aren't they?
Because they're not us. They're not Homo sapiens.
They're not from Earth.
Well,
They technically would be alien species if they came to Earth.
if they came to Earth,
They're humanoid.
If your boy Luke came to Earth.
Yeah,
Alright.
boy.
that's fair. But you get what I'm saying. Like, the humans, because they describe them as humans in Star
I'm
Wars.
being semantic.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
In Star Wars canon, they describe them as humans.
Right.
But it's like, there's no way to know if they're, like, 20 feet tall or 20 centimeters tall compared to our galaxy. You know what I mean?
Is there a scene where they're holding like a ruler at any point?
Well, that's the thing, though. That ruler would be scaled to their galaxy.
Ah, damn it.
The only way to tell would be to have an Earthling.
This is like
And-
the colors
and
thing,
the-
where like your
Right.
colors are
Yeah.
Is your
different.
red my red?
Yeah. No, isn't it kind of trippy to think about?
Not really.
All right, good point.
If you
I
found out,
love Moon
sorry.
Pirates. I want a whole movie about Brad Pitt fighting Moon Pirates.
Oh man, that scene was like,
That was
I never
nuts.
thought I wanted this sort of chasing to happen.
Yes, almost completely silent chase scene.
But man, am I glad I have it.
Oh my god! yes.
When guys started getting ganked on his buggy, I was like,
Yeah.
I just
when the
you're on a
lieutenant
buggy.
turns his face and his whole helmet caves in,
It's
like
just
This
like
needs to be a video game.
yeah,
I'd play this as a video
Yeah.
game.
gnarly.
no, like, that's
And then he
like
sails over the crater
Oh,
I wish
yeah.
I want a new Mass
Doing
Effect
a helicopter spin.
theme. Oh yeah,
into the darkness.
and then he just
fucking
carries on like it's all good because
Awesome.
it was.
That
That was
scene is
another
one of the
thing.
best
Yeah.
in the film.
That's another thing Dave griped about. He was like, "There's no roll cages on those buggies," and I was like,
Well, you wouldn't expect that to be happening, though, right?
"Well, they need roll cages so that if you're going fast, which you would not be going fast, you wouldn't be going like 30 miles an hour on the moon anyway, because any tiny bump would send you flying off."
That's a good
into
point.
space. So he was like, so the roll cages are, if you hit a bump, it weighs you down and doesn't send you flying. It like just rolls you, and then you don't like crush all your shit. Like
Well, they were basing them off of the buggy they used on the moon.
the old
For
buggies,
real,
the
right?
retro buggies.
Yeah.
So I guess that is a little bit of a plot, is that they haven't updated these buggies.
Sure.
Because
Oh,
when they go to
interesting.
Mars, they're very updated.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
On Mars,
Yeah.
they
Think
look
about
like
that.
little meter-maid cars.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't think about
Yeah.
that.
And on Moon...
And they're actually full body cars. Like they have a cockpit. It's not just an open carriage.
I liked
buggy.
when he got to the moon, and it was like the most touristy
Yes.
ride ever.
We looked at each other because we saw DHL and we're like,
Yes.
fuck. Can you imagine if we still worked in the vault and
I
had to
love-
ship some shit to fucking HBO Moon,
HBO Moon.
HBO Studio on the moon?
I like that in the establishing shot, you clearly see an Applebee's in the distance, and
Yeah.
I'm like, of course, Applebee's goes to the,
the fucking
moon.
moon.
Apple-
Those
And
fucking
everything
is
dollaritas,
triple
bro.
price.
fucking Subway.
Because it
Lunar
might,
dollaritas.
weirdly enough, it costs a lot of money to get chicken sliders to the moon.
Chicken sliders.
Do you think they serve all the regular moon, like
The-
Earth
the-
food,
Probably.
or do they have to specialize in moon food?
That's a good question though. I mean, you wouldn't go through stock as quickly on the moon because you'd have less
well, it's
traffic.
like a big touristy area.
Yeah.
though. I mean,
But I wonder, like,
Would
I mean, I
people be
imagine
outraged?
they have like agriculture and
like you
stuff.
want to head to the moon this weekend?
Yeah,
Nah, they don't have
maybe.
cheeky tens, boy.
But I was gonna say, Jesus Christ, that's a question though. Like,
Can I,
I'm
Bring your own chicken tenders. to the
BYOCT. Bring your own chicken tenders.
Oh, crap. Do you guys have buffalo sauce? No, we don't serve chicken tenders. I hate this place.
Fucking moon. The fucking
I'm going
moon.
back to Earth.
I'm burning this moon to the ground.
Something I noticed that's not going to mean anything to you guys. But
Right.
you know the man bun guy who was like helping him record his message to his dad?
Yeah.
That's the main bad guy in the most recent Far Cry game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's
Good
just
for
a
that
fun.
guy.
That's just a fun little thing.
The cult one?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
nice.
the cult leader. So
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I
Yeah,
played
good
that
for that
game.
guy.
That's
Yeah.
cool for him.
Yeah, the Far Cry 5. He's the pastor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The master pastor.
the master pastor.
Oh
my
my
god!
God.
I wish you said that to me before I played the whole game. Because I was like, ah, shit, master pastor's at it again.
Oh my
Dude.
God.
Can we
That's
talk about Far Cry
incredible.
5 for a minute? Did you finish it?
Yeah,
What was with that? The most I hated the ending.
you did.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Did you?
Yeah, have you played any of the other Far Cries?
I played 3 and a little bit of 4. I didn't finish 4.
So I liked it a lot because all the other ones end the same way. Oh, got the bad guy. Now you're a badass in this weird place.
Yeah.
That's how they all end. Literally, that's how they all end.
But
This one ended as like, oop, oh shit.
Well,
Oh shit.
this was only my second Far Cry game.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe because of that it felt
I mean, you did start with 5.
I started with 3.
Okay, sorry.
And then I played some of 4, but I only got probably a quarter of the way through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah, I played all of 2, played 3, some of Blood Dragon, which is the in between.
yeah.
And I played 4. I played Far Cry Primal, which is between 4 and 5.
Right.
I played 5, and then I played Far Cry New Dawn, which was the...
So you've had more. All right.
And
Maybe just
for
'cause
me, the game itself, this is not...
Game was laggy.
This does not have
Or the
anything to do with what we're talking
the
about.
game had a lot of bugs,
It did, but I will say...
but I still loved it.
it's my favorite.
Right.
I think it's my favorite, period. Like, I liked it more than 3, and I liked it more than 4.
I love that vibe of like the American cult.
That's
also.
why I liked it a lot, because it was so different. Because it's
Right.
like, it's kind of an easy way for an American dude to go, like the third one. American badass gets trapped on an island in the Pacific and beats up a bunch of drug dealers and terrorists.
Right.
Fourth
Little generic.
one, American badass takes a trip to essentially Nepal.
Oh yeah.
Essentially Nepal, and fights a evil government and his army of terrorists and mercenaries.
Right.
Same deal. This one though was cool because it's domestic and like you would believe it too because it's fucking like
This
balls.
stuff happens in the
it's
United
balls,
States.
Montana.
Right.
Who like obviously if someone was flying around with a wingsuit and blowing up trains and all that shit, like it would make headlines. But also they make it believable why none of the news gets out. And I appreciated it.
But I mean, this sort of cults like that do happen in the United States.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have that one in Oregon.
That one in Oregon?
Rajneeshpuram.
Oh, yeah,
where
that shit.
they actually took over a town.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's what inspired the game.
It felt like there were a few. I got some Heaven's Gate vibes.
Yeah.
I got
Oh,
some,
boy, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that one where it ended with the house burning down and they stayed inside?
Shit, I don't know, dude.
Oh man,
Sounds
crazy stuff.
hardcore.
Yeah.
If I saw the name, I'd be like, that's it. But
Anyway, Far Cry 5. Good game.
Any
Can we
closing
do
thoughts on Ad Astra?
midnight cult talk.
I want to do a podcast about video games where we do similar stuff, where we talk about video
I
games.
feel like I don't play enough video. I play a lot of indie games.
That one's probably going to be me and Dylan, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to like sit in on a particular episode,
If you're playing a game or if you're talking about a game I love,
Yeah.
If you ever talk about Night in the Woods, let me know.
be a lot of like Sony games, so like Spider-Man and that kind of thing.
Oh.
Like PlayStation games.
You should play Night in the Woods. It's a good game.
Yeah.
Do you even know what game I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts on Ad Astra?
Ad Astra.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think, besides the one shot that you brought up, Liv Tyler. So my initial thought was I didn't think Liv Tyler was in it the first time I saw it, because I couldn't remember a single shot where it was the two of them with both of their faces on camera. at the same time. Kitt brought to my attention today that there is the shot where they're cuddling and they're pressing their faces against one another.
It's hard to fake that.
It's hard to fake that. So I guess she must have been. I just genuinely, like, as big a Lord of the Rings fan as I am, I see Liv Tyler or anything, I'm like, oh! You know what I mean?
There she is.
Yeah. So it's like, I feel like I would have remembered that she was in it if she was.
Right.
But I don't know. Whatever. I really, really love this one. It's up there with my favorite sci-fi movies, I think.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, I highly, highly recommend seeing this. Oh, Taylor and I saw this in IMAX. I don't know about you.
It was fantastic.
I did see it in IMAX. It was so immersive.
I
was really in there.
Like, thank God for A-list.
Oh yeah.
Because you get this is not like it would be good for them to sponsor us.
Yeah,
but
it's not an advertisement, but we're open.
But like legit, if you like going to movies, you should probably just get A-list. It's like
for us, it's a really good
$25, I think.
24.
No, it's it's barely $24.
$24 for no. I'm talking about an IMAX movie. For an IMAX ticket.
Oh.
It's like $22 to $25 for one ticket.
It's a good chunk.
And your A-list subscription for 3 movies a week
includes
it, and that's only $28.
No additional cost.
My
A-list is $24.
My A-list is $24.
You're right. Sorry, it was $28 for a while, but I think they made it cheaper.
So it's even cheaper.
So yeah.
So get it.
Get it. But yeah, no.
And go see 3 movies a week, boy.
But make sure at least one of them is Ad Astra, at the very least in like Dolby. I feel like this would be
if
good.
They're not showing it, and not everyone's got the Dolby and the IMAXs.
Well, sure.
So just watch it. Just look at it.
Go watch it.
Go look at the poster for a long period of time.
If you can,
2 hours.
See it in IMAX. It was very, very, very good. It's cool that I think the last movie we all universally loved this much was probably Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
What about It Chapter 2?
We all liked it, but I didn't feel this strongly about it.
All right, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Because this is
but
I agree. Like we can do the ratings now. Like you gave this a 9.
I'm gonna give it a 9. When I initially left the theater, I was thinking of giving it a 10, but as I thought more about the ending and the way that it kind of just is like builds up, it felt like we had watched somebody climb Mount Everest, and then he like snowboarded back down the mountain.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes. It's like if that movie Everest ended with them all like hang gliding down the mountain,
and going like shaka bra.
Yeah, pretty much.
God.
I feel I'm in exactly the same boat.
Right.
And that's both for sci-fi movies and regular movies.
It was a fantastic film, though. It's the kind of movie that I'm like, this is what I go to the theater for.
Yeah, no,
this
exactly.
is why I like movies.
Exactly.
Yes.
There was a moment where, because Taylor and I went and saw it Friday night after work, and I underestimate how late Taylor stays up. I was around my bedtime when I started watching the movie. There was a moment towards the end where Taylor sat up forward and had his like chin resting in his hands, and his eyes were super wide, and I thought he was just trying to stay awake. He was actually
I was
enjoying
just
himself.
into this Brad Pitt movie.
Yeah. All right, Kitt.
What?
Your review. Your final rating.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
8? Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
8, 9,
9.
So
9.
Average rating of 8.6.
Did you just do that math right now?
Yeah.
So you round up.
9. Well, that sounds like we're just railroading your answer.
Yeah, that literally just sounds like yours is unimportant. So we'll go with 8.6.
8.6.
So yeah,
Midnight Mastermind.
Do y'all want to do a quick little chit chat about our favorite sci-fi movies?
Can I say something about this topic?
Yeah.
So I have a favorite sci-fi movie, but in prep for this, I talked to aforementioned Dan, who is a wonderful sci-fi nerd, and he looks at me and goes, "You're going to do a sci-fi movie podcast?" And I said, "Yeah." And he was like, "What's your sci-fi movie?" And I said, "It's probably going to be E.T." And he was like, "That's a really good choice." He was like, "I love that. Have you ever heard of Buckaroo Banzai?" And I said, "No. Have you guys ever heard of Buckaroo Banzai?"
No.
We watched Buckaroo Banzai. Not only does it have Jeff Goldblum and like John Lithgow and a host of other people where you're like, oh my god, he's in this?
Yeah.
It's a bananas film. You know how... Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Let me give you a quick synopsis. Buckaroo Banzai is a man, that is his full name. It is first name Buckaroo, last name Bonsai.
Okay.
He is a rock and roll star, a comic book hero, a samurai, and a neurosurgeon.
Wow.
My eyebrows are really high right now.
He goes on adventures with his crew that he's assembled, which is also his rock and roll band of also neuroscientists, brain surgeons and stuff like that.
Yep.
Cass, when was this made? Like,
This was made maybe like 2 years before Back to the Future.
Okay,
He drives.
I thought you were going to say 2 years ago. I'm like, what?
He
How have I not heard
drives.
of this?
Listen, he drives a car that has a flux capacitor in it and has to go 88 miles per hour before it can travel through a different dimension.
So basically, Back to the Future stole.
So this
from...
was-
Yes.
This was
Buckaroo
before Back
Banzai.
to the Future.
This was before.
Dude,
Confirmed.
Midnight
before.
Masterminds exclusive.
Bro.
Your sci-fi movies are all a lie.
Robert Zemeckis is a thief and a liar.
It's phenomenal. It's about beings that Buckaroo Banzai finds when he travels using that car into the 8th dimension, who are all named John and who want to take over Earth.
This sounds incredible.
It's the best movie I have ever seen in my life. Everything that Buckaroo Banzai says is like undeniably awesome and cool. There's one line in the movie.
Who plays Buckaroo Banzai?
Shit, I don't know. Look it up. There's
I got it. I got it.
So there's this one line in this movie, which is the first indication of like, this guy's a cool motherfucker, and nothing that you say will ever be as cool as anything that he says ever, is when he goes, no matter where you go, there you are. That's the line! And it's full of stuff like that. It's just like everything is a one-liner quotable. Everything is fantastic. It's visually stunning in like a really like 80s kind of way.
Right.
The costumes are just
Peter
ridiculous. Yes.
Fucking RoboCop played Buckaroo Banzai?
And it's the best movie you've ever seen, and you
That's so
haven't even
cool.
seen it yet.
I've just added it to my watch list.
You absolutely. We all should watch it together because it's just so good. And I was like, Daniel, thank you so fucking much
Thanks, Dan.
for showing this to me.
Dude.
Because I'm going to show everyone in my life who's ever existed that this movie
God damn.
is here, and it's
John
wonderful.
Lithgow, Ellen Barkin, Jeff Goldblum, Christopher Lloyd, Lewis Smith. Like, what the hell?
I'm telling you, it was like people just kept coming on
Clancy
screen.
Brown.
People kept coming on screen, and I was like, "What?" Like,
God damn.
This,
and it's so good. Guess what Jeff Goldblum's character's name is?
New Jersey.
It's New Jersey.
Huh.
It's so good, and he's a famous country singer /
Christopher
neurosurgeon.
Lloyd plays a character named John Big Booty.
Yes.
Big Booty.
It's Big Booty, and that's the whole joke during the entire film is that they're like, "Get Big Booty. Where's Big Booty?" And he's like, "Big Booty." It's a fucking awesome film.
This.
The love interest
How
is
have
named
I
Penny
never-
Pretty.
I've never heard of this
How
film.
have
It's-
I never heard
It's
of
your
this
favorite movie you've never seen.
There's
It's
a-
your favorite movie you've never seen.
There's a guy named Perfect Tommy.
Yeah.
Perfect Tommy is like the lead guitarist of his band.
Lord John Horfin.
One guy's name is Reno, Nevada.
Yes! I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's the coolest movie
What
ever.
the fuck? This looks like this looks like it's like a Hot Shots sci-fi movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Do you know
I've
what-
never seen.
Do you know what
this
Hot
film
Shots
referenced.
is?
No.
All right, in prep, well not in prep, but we'll watch Rambo and Hot Shots between now and the next one.
Okay.
But Hot Shots is starring Charlie Sheen, and the first Hot Shots is a spoof of Top Gun.
Right.
The second Hot Shots is a spoof of Rambo.
Right.
But it's like super hyper aware like action schlock parody. It's like the action movie, scary movie, epic movies before.
But during
those
the
were a
era
thing.
of your airplanes and your
Yes,
naked guns.
so it was actually funny.
Yep.
Wow.
So this is a picture of him and his band. This is Perfect Tommy. I'm going to describe to the viewers what Perfect Tommy is wearing. He's wearing like slacks, like professional slacks. He's wearing bright red shoes. He's got a white blazer on that's
With
way too large for him.
shoulder pads.
It has shoulder pads that are larger than anything I've ever seen
and
before.
a giant like worsted collar.
It's got a, yes, correct. And he's also wearing a bedazzled bandana. He's got bleach blonde hair. It's so bleached. It's so white.
He honestly looks like he would have been the lead singer in Sugar Ray.
And then we've got Jeff Goldblum, who is a renowned country singer. He's just wearing your very classic woolly like cowboy pants
Oh my
and
God,
cowboy
that is Jeff
boots.
Goldblum.
It's Jeff Goldblum in the biggest cowboy
he's
hat you've ever
wearing,
seen.
like sheep.
Yes.
Like
He's got
what
guns.
are they called? Chaps.
He's got
Chaps.
guns that he uses during the film in his holsters. He's got like one of those red button-down cowboy jackets.
Yeah, deer jacket.
Oh my God, this is Rawhide. I love him. It's the best movie you've never seen.
We're watching this soon.
We're watching it immediately.
Is that Buckaroo Banzai in the middle, dressed like Pee Wee Herman?
Yes, that sure is.
I love it.
There's a whole scene. This is from that scene at the end of the movie.
Is that Christopher Walken?
No, that's
that's Lithgow.
He looks like
Lithgow.
He looks like Huey Lewis.
Yeah, that looks like Cameron Diaz.
She sort of did look like Cameron Diaz, but this shot right here, where we're seeing his entire band and all their like ridiculous outfits.
Yeah.
This is part of a shot that's at the end of the film. Everything ends, and at the end, there's this really weird song that plays that's full of synthesizers and whistling, and they're walking through the LA like canals, and it's a shot of them for like 6 or 7 minutes with that song playing, and they're just walking through the canals. They're just walking, and it's just shots of all their outfits individually. It's I can't get over how good it was.
I love how excited you are about it too. I don't even want to talk about how much I like Interstellar anymore.
Because it's not Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, exactly.
With the eighth
dimensional. Yeah, why did you go last?
It's with the eighth dimensional.
Now I can't talk about
Interstellar. I was going to talk about.
I'm so sorry. I was too excited. I've been holding this in all week, dude. I've been trying to play it cool like I haven't seen a masterpiece with my own 2 eyes for an entire week. It's exploding now.
It's the definition of like a hidden gem.
Yeah.
It truly is. Please watch it.
I'm genuinely astounded that I've never heard of this movie.
We have to have a movie night and we need to watch it together.
Like, also, like, Dad, what the hell, man? Seriously, like, you showed me Spaceballs, you showed me Star Wars, you showed me all that shit. Like,
you come back and you show this motherfucker
fucking
Buckaroo
Weird
Banzai.
Science, which I count as a sci-fi movie.
Weird Science is phenomenal, and I should have thought of that on my sci-fi list.
But, like, you never heard of Buckaroo Banzai. Are you kidding me? What the hell, man?
Wherever you go, there you are.
This came out in '84.
It's not even one of those movies
you were 14 years old when this came out, so you should have remembered this.
Shit, didn't Back to the Future come out in '85?
13, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway.
You could have you were already on IMDb.
Oh, my bad. Anyway. Sorry, that's Buckaroo Banzai. I was too ecstatic not to...
Yeah, it did come out in '85.
To word vomit.
Alright, so there's cause to believe that Zemeckis just happened to write a movie about a car that needs to go a certain speed to go a certain
with a
place.
flux capacitor looking object.
That probably would have been in production by the time Buckaroo Banzai.
That's what I'm saying. So like, it seems like it might have just been a coincidence. Although, I was listening to, or watching the like GQ like iconic roles thing.
Yeah.
For Seth Rogen, and he was talking about his Observe and Report, which is his mall cop movie that came out like a few months after Paul Blart.
Right.
Turns out Paul Blart, like literally, they discovered that Seth Rogen and his crew were making Observe and Report.
No way.
And stole it and tweaked the script to make Paul Blart.
And made it bad.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like Observe and Report. It's not one like even Rogen would probably say it's not one of their like best, but it's still fucking Seth Rogen and his crew over fucking.
There's no rule where it's like, well, if it's bad, you can plagiarize it.
Yeah, but even still, it's like it sucks that movie is like pretty good, and no one saw it.
Everyone remembers Paul.
But everyone remembers Paul Blart because it's so bad.
What is it with freaking Happy Madison movies where they're terrible? Every Happy Madison movie
they make
is terrible,
so much money.
But each one of them somehow permeates the social conscience of the United States.
I don't know, man. Like Sandler's...
That's his devil deal. He'll never make a good movie.
Seriously, Sandler
but it'll be beyond
like,
popular.
He is like an entity, uniquely Sandler. Like his sense of humor is his. That's it. That's like a great thing you can say about a dude. We were talking about it yesterday, actually, where it's like, if he would just stop hanging out with like David Spade and Rob Schneider and the big fat guy who played Paul Blart, I can't remember his name. Kevin James and like all them. Like you can still hang out with Chris Rock. Chris Rock's funny as fuck. But like the rest of them, he just needs to get them out of his life and stop trying to make movies with them, because someone in that group is like really accidentally dad racist, and that's why a lot of his movies, that's why like Ridiculous Six can happen.
I never saw Ridiculous Six. I've given up on Happy Madison films.
Yeah, but like then
I think I've told you this story, but I watched Blended.
Yeah.
And I counted the number of product placements
you did,
in the
yes.
film.
I think you said that on the last...
And it came out to 34.
Yeah.
And even if I said on the last podcast, I want to reiterate how ridiculous that is.
That is pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know, man.
Adam Sandler has a conspiracy theory time. He goes
This has been a real tangent full Midnight
I'm so
Masterminds
sorry,
episode.
guys.
Anyway.
He goes and he gets money to make a movie because it's Adam Sandler and he's going to make his money back. And I don't think he's ever made a movie that didn't make its money back at least.
Agreed. Even that weird movie where he played his big fat twin.
Right. That movie doubled its budget in the box office.
Oh my god.
He's business-wise, he's very successful.
Yeah, he's a very safe investment.
Yes. He's like Apple.
Yes.
Adam Sandler's like the Apple of movies. And you can quote me on that, folks.
Yep.
He goes, he uses that budget, he gets all of his friends, rolls in the movie, he makes a whatever movie, he always flies to an interesting place so that he could basically go on a vacation while he's making the movie, and then he gets product placements to pay himself off so that he can make a lot of money. This is all unfounded. Need to put that up there.
This is like, unsubstantiated claims.
This is what I think, though, because there's no reason there should be this many product placements in any film. Name any Happy Madison movie there was a product placement. Little Nicky had Popeye's Chicken.
It did.
Click had Bed Bath & Beyond.
It did.
Oh my god.
Happy Gilmore had Subway.
It did.
You can go through the entire
Titleist
thing.
and like...
I mean, they all have multiple ones, but there's always one big one.
What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Probably Punch Drunk Love, because he had nothing to do with the creative process of that film.
that one's really good.
And it was depressing to see how good of an actor he could be.
Yes. Yeah, it's real sad. That's what I mean. Like, that's why he needs to stop, like...
But that movie didn't make any money.
Yeah. But it's sad that he feels such... Like, he's a good friend.
Right.
So his movies are always bad. Because I don't like David Spade. And I hope he hears me say it.
So Tyler!
I don't like Rob Schneider. I don't like Kevin James. Again, Chris Rock, funny as fuck.
Tyler!
But, like, most of that whole Nick Swardsden, like, they're all not funny. They're only funny because they hung out with Chris Farley and Adam Sandler.
You think Kevin James would have a career if Chris Farley was still alive?
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sorry, Kevin. You're probably a really nice guy.
Chris,
Ditto for David
Chris
Spade.
fucking Farley.
King
but
of
it's Chris
Queens,
Farley.
Starring Chris Farley.
Paul Blart Mall
Paul
Cop.
Blart Mall Cop was 100% written for Chris Farley.
Like,
Did you know that I look exactly like Chris Farley in some angles?
In some angles.
I do.
Oh my god!
I've got a...
Wait.
I'm never gonna be
Have you
able to
seen Tommy Boy?
unsee that.
Have you seen Tommy Boy?
Why
You know
would you
that-
say that
you
to
know,
me?
There's like several scenes where he goes like
Why would
like
you
this,
say that
and
to
if
me,
you like,
Kit?
hang on,
Oh
I'm gonna
my
pull
God.
up. I'm gonna pull up.
Why would
Tommy
you
Boy.
do this to me?
You're dating Chris Farley?
That's okay.
No, check this out. Are you guys ready to have your mind blown? Sorry, audio listeners, it literally doesn't matter.
I'll put a picture in.
All right,
Yes,
listeners,
please do.
Google
Okay,
Tommy Boy Chris Farley in order to see the visual aspect of this section of the podcast.
Yes,
You can
precisely.
Google it, but I'm going to put it in the YouTube video.
Here, I mean, I guess I'll try this one. So, like, if you just...
Okay, I'm
Okay,
ready,
ready?
for this. Oh, shit.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Ah!
That's uncanny.
Can I take a picture of that? Do a side-by-side on the podcast?
We can try. There's a really good one that I already have a side-by-side for somewhere in my phone.
Is it that one?
It's like it's a picture like this where he's just doing like a crazy double
God,
chin.
he was too...
Hang on, wait.
He was too good. I think he was a star that burned way too hot, and that's part of why he died.
Well, like Smash Mouth once said, all that glitters is gold, but only shooting stars break the mold.
Bro. Taylor.
You did so well at the beginning of this. You had me laughing so hard.
This. All right. You see this picture, not the baby.
Yeah.
Ignore the baby side by side.
That baby does not look like Chris Farley.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Like if I do it right.
Yeah, no, I see it.
It's not gonna work. I gotta take a selfie.
No,
All right, well,
no,
do that, please, and send it to
You
me.
gotta do
I'll try.
You gotta do a Snapchat face swap and see if we can
Tell the
notice
difference?
a visible difference.
I think this podcast has just degenerated into nonsense.
So
My
sorry.
favorite
It's
sci-fi
my fault.
movie-
So
It's-
sorry.
We're-
Oh, I'm sorry. Please.
My favorite
Taylor,
sci-fi
we don't have
movie
time.
is 2001: Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick.
That's Dan's.
If you know about it, you probably know why it's good. If you haven't seen it, check it out, man. It's one of the greatest films ever made.
Yeah, mine's Interstellar, and it's because I love Chris Nolan. He's an inspiration to me, one of my biggest inspirations for being a filmmaker. Matthew McConaughey puts forth a fucking
And that robot is sweet.
out of this world performance. The visual effects are incredible.
The scene on the planet with the waves
Yeah.
is one of the most memorable scenes in a film.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
But it ain't no Buckaroo Banzai.
But Buckaroo Banzai, man.
I'm so sorry.
No, you shouldn't be.
No, yeah, please don't apologize.
We need to have a movie night like this week where
For
we can
opening
just
our
sit down
eyes.
and
Buckaroo
watch it.
Banzai.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry this one went kind of crazy.
2001 doesn't
We
have
love
a
you very
perfect
much.
Tommy.
Thank you so much.
It doesn't have perfect timing.
Thank you so much for listening to whatever the fuck this became.
Have fun editing.
Yeah, thanks. I gotta do it tonight so I can release it on time.
Rad.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. We were at an amusement park all
Well, you
day.
shouldn't tell them that. They think it's midnight.
It's
Good
11.
night.
We're recording. So how's that for bullshit? We're recording this at 11 and I'm still gonna release it as close to midnight as fucking possible.
That gives you an hour.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, go off.
Jeez. Anyway, my
night.
name's Tyler.
I'm Kitt with Woodstock.
And I'm Taylor, and Woodstock's been talking this whole time, right?
Yeah,
Tyler?
yeah. All right. Woodstock. You want to have any last things you want to say?
Doesn't he make noises like that? Am I
Yeah,
an
no,
insane
think-
person?
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah.
Am
I
I
think you're
just
right.
am I just making odd
Somebody who's a big
warblings?
Peanuts fan is losing their mind right now.
Bye, guys.